Hello, Ben.
Hello.
Hello. We're back in Formula One, and we're in Saudi Arabia today.
That's okay. We probably should boycott this video then.
Yeah, probably, but too late. We're here now. To start off with, there is what we call the Pirelli Hot Lap. Bum bum bum. It's sort of like a special event that we're taking part in here in Saudi Arabia,
Hmm.
where we just have to do the thing fast. I think we get 3 attempts. I can't remember. I'm playing with a different controller, so obviously, if I'm really shit, that's probably why. The thing about this
Hmm.
track is it's quite tight. Oh, they want the average
Like,
speed to be higher than a certain average speed. It's quite a tight track. Oh, I don't like this car.
oh, you said it was quite a tight strap.
Track. We want to have the highest average speed. Oh, higher than 98 by the time we got to that point, and it was 98.97, so we win. Okay, cool. We don't have to do any more laps.
Yay!
Hooray! Oh, they want me to do more anyway. Okay. We're going to do more, Ben. We're going to do it again. Same thing again. We don't need to. We've exceeded the goal. I suppose we could see if we can beat 98 point whatever it was. Nope. We came off a track. Because it doesn't
Uh-oh.
steer. The fucking car doesn't steer. I hate the Pirelli hot lap thing. I should have just skipped it. Or done the drifting thing. You got to be going like 12 miles an hour to fucking turn.
Hmm.
You can
What's our
overtake on
character's
that
name
corner.
again?
It's those guys.
Oh.
Because I'm not inventive. We both of the times we finished, it was more than 98 miles an hour. So, yeah, in a McLaren of all cars.
Oh, breaking news.
Go on.
A new Lara Croft has been cast
Oh, who
for
is
an
it?
Amazon series. It's Sophie Turner,
Oh,
Sansa off of Game of Thrones.
I'm not overly excited about that.
Why?
I don't know. She doesn't strike me as being a overly good Lara Croft. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It's quite a physical role, really, isn't it?
Hmm. Hmm.
I would say that with all the fighting and jump scenes and stuff, it's quite a physical role, and that's not something I think of when I think of Sophie Turner.
Well, the first comment I saw from Gladys the baker, wow, that's a terrible casting decision.
Okay, well, at least I'm not alone in not being excited about it.
Well, who knows? Maybe she'll be good.
Look, maybe she will. Right, you're absolutely right. There is every possibility that she'll be fantastic. I have doubts. I should think that the writing won't be great either, because it's one of those things that, you know, you get watch this track, man, because you'll see just what I mean about how tight it is.
Nice. Our dirtiest video yet. Gosh, that is fairly tight.
Yeah,
I
try
see what you
slipping
mean.
inside that, and
Don't ruin it.
that's just one section of it.
Yeah.
Imagine these curves taking 3 cars at a time.
Nice. Ugh. I'm getting a lot of mixed feelings.
About this track.
Yeah, it's a good thing. This would be a weird thing to have a sexual awakening to.
It would, wouldn't it? There's a lot of curves on this track.
There's some pretty fucked up people as a result of this. Yeah.
Some parts of this track can only take 2 men abreast.
Cockpit.
Yes, I am sat in the cockpit as we speak.
There you go. That's my contribution.
But no, it is tight. It's also
Yeah.
the fastest, the highest average speed. Oh shit! Highest average speed on the thing on the calendar, I think. Don't you try fucking doing better than me, Eclair. Oh, Charlie boy.
Mm.
Oh, you fucker. You fucker. No, you don't. You don't. You don't outperform me, Charlie. I think I beat him.
Hey.
Yes! That was tight, though. Both for corners and for timing. Happy fucking days. How close was that, I wonder, in actual time? 0.1 of a second. You can tell the difficulty's gone up, can't you? What?
Chocolate.
Oh. And to think I was deliberately waiting until your video for me to have some chocolate. Because I found a big bar of chocolate whilst I was tidying my room up a bit.
When did that arrive on the scene?
What, the chocolate?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's still in date.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Good. Let your hate flow through your channel. This I can do well in this race. And considering how quick all that was, I reckon we'll be done in about half hour, 40 minutes. Which will make this a 50-minute video.
Nice.
Yeah, and we can get on with yours, and then we can both go to bed early.
Should we do the Wordle?
It's uvula. You haven't commented on the fact that it's a night race.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is. What time is it? Do you know?
Time to drive. Right, how well off the mark have we done compared to everyone else? There's every possibility that part of our car will just break on one of these laps, by the way. So, yes, do a topic.
Well, do well. Well.
Okay, that's tight. There we go. 25 times we've got to do this.
I want to make a public service announcement.
Okay.
About men.
Oh, God. Go on.
This has been on my mind since the election.
Okay.
Because as you may know, young men voted overwhelmingly for Trump.
Evidently so.
And it gave me pause for thought. Now, there is a crisis for young men, and unfortunately, you and I perhaps no longer qualify as young men.
I keep being called it, but I don't agree with it.
When bit of a sidetrack, but when Kamala Harris was doing her concession speech, she said to all the young people out there, my first thought was to pipe up to listen, and then I thought, oh, that's not really me anymore, is it? Yeah, I there is a crisis for young men, and we're men who are struggling with various things, but we're getting better, aren't we?
I don't know. We're just normal men.
You were keen on discussing emotions and whatnot. And I thought maybe we could do our bit, and I think a lot of men feel left out of things, and the world is against them.
Well, they're welcome to comment on here and talk to us.
Yeah, it's okay to be sad.
Yeah.
And, it's okay to be sad if you're single and lonely. It doesn't mean you're a bad person or anything like that. It's okay to have feelings for ladies or men,
or people somewhere in between.
Yeah, or altogether not.
Yeah.
It's you shouldn't prioritize any. You should consider other people's feelings, but you're a person with feelings too. What I mean is, you are not a second-class citizen.
Not unless you want to be.
Just because people are advocating for rights for women, doesn't mean you are. And you shouldn't feel that way. Because you're not. And you know, yeah. I think we have a crisis for young men in this country, in this world. And you know, men have gotten it easier in so many ways, but we're all kind of fucked up.
Oh yeah, some are more than others.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ben's Pornhub history. I do wish you'd stop putting up videos of you jerking off.
You're so witty.
I know. Although, to be fair, it would be interesting to see someone else's technique. Would you jerk off for me on camera?
No.
Well, you don't do anything I want.
So, yeah, I think men should get more hugs and compliments. When was the last time you got a compliment that wasn't from your partner?
I'm getting compliments at work all the time. Oh,
do you?
I got called cute the other week.
Where are you working? I mean, I know where you're working, but why?
Well, they like me. I'm a very likeable person when I'm not talking to you. It must be something about you that makes me act like a twat.
Am I the problem? Is that what we're working?
You may well be the problem, Ben.
Me all along. Maybe I should kill myself.
I mean, you can get help for that now. Or they're trying to give it so you can have help for that.
3 weeks? Who's got the time for that?
Yeah, but 3 weeks and then for the rest of your life.
I do think it would be nice to receive a compliment, because if you don't receive compliments, you think there's nothing to compliment you on. You know?
And it's probably not true.
I know I'm great. And I've got a cute tush. But it would be nice to hear it from a colleague.
8.4 seconds ahead of our teammate. Good God, Verstappen's just overtaken. Oh no. Oh shit! Oh, that was close.
Ram him.
No. There's no one in front of us. We're 4 seconds ahead of second place. It's funny, when you're defending your position, you actually go slower. I'm going to get called out for cutting that corner at some point. It's my weakness on this track. Oh. Just clipped the inside wall there. See, what's so special about the distance that we've got? The time, the fact that we're 3.6 ahead. What's that? What's so good about that, Ben?
3.6?
Yeah.
It's pi, innit?
No, that's 3.14159235. I think.
That's 3.6. What is it then?
The fact that it's more than 1 is the thing that matters. Because 1 second, if he was within 1 second of us, he'd get DRS. Which means he'd be faster on the 2 big long straights. You know this big circle that's coming up on the map? Oh, yeah. No, not that one. Sorry, this one. That is the DRS detection zone. If he's within a second of us at that point, he gets a speed boost from here all the way down here. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Still not there. Right up until that line that we just crossed on the floor.
Right.
Which is very helpful for him. And would be helpful for us too. But we don't need it, because we're already ahead. So, but only because we're more than a second ahead of him, he doesn't get it. That's why they keep jostling positions down there. It's because they're moving around because they've got it and we haven't. But because you are defending, when you're defending, you drive slower than you are if you're not defending, because you need to take your lines differently to stop them overtaking you. So, yeah, they will fall back a bit as they're fighting. In fact, that's why there's a gap between second and third. Because second isn't fighting for position, third and fourth are. Yeah, just taught you something.
Yes, he did.
Would you like to do the F1 topic now, then?
Oh, go on then.
There isn't one!
There isn't?
No, there isn't one! Because it's a week from Formula 1. I thought you'd be really happy. I thought I'd get you down thinking... Because you would expect there to be one, wouldn't you? What with the game and everything. But no, it's just, there isn't one.
That's really nice. Thank you.
You're welcome. Don't say I don't do well for you. I know how much it means to you to get some time without it. And I know you've got to sort of sit here and half watch me drive around, but... The sounds are soothing, at least.
I do feel bad for young men. And Yeah, I do. I do.
Wow. Whee! A 3 second gap is a very, very good gap for us, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say that's a. That means that we're not likely to be in the undercut zone. Would you like me to explain the undercut zone to you?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a situation where when you pit stop, because you are on fresh tyres after your pit stop, you can often drive faster than the person that was in front of you at the time, which means that you can potentially overtake them over whilst they are pitting because you've made up time whilst they're on slower tyres. It's called an undercut. But normally it tends to be about 2.5 seconds is the cut off for that. So we by being now 4 seconds ahead, we're sort of protecting ourselves from that as well. So that's nice. We're playing the tactical game, and I did turn the difficulty up. I did. I promise I did. That's why we're not.
Oh yeah, you said you were gonna, didn't you?
Yeah, because it was such a trouncing last week. I turned the difficulty up a bit. I added 10 to the AI score. Oh, brilliant! He might pull out of a race.
Yay! We won by default.
No, we haven't won by default if he pulls out. We're not setting fastest laps anymore. But at the end of this, we could have 52 points on the board overall. And if we do, that's a fantastic start to the season. I don't know what the maximum you can get is because it's like 23 races at 52 points. That's like 26 points apiece, plus however many sprints there are, and that's a bit I don't know. It's the sprints. Oh fuck! That's not going to help. At least we didn't get shit for it. Oh, we only lost a second. Oh, second and a half. Jesus. Let's make that time back up. You got to race right to the limit, you see. So I started playing something else this week.
With yourself? I don't know what.
Playing something else. World of Warcraft again.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing on a free-to-play server, which is fun because it means I don't have to pay to play the game that's been out for 20 odd years. And I'm rather having fun. They do a fun thing on this server where rather than pick a particular class and then level up along that class, you can either have what we call an archetype, where it's more than one class sort of merged together, or have it randomly pick you spells and talents. And that's what my main character is at the moment. It's one where it's randomly picking. No, not Lando. Our teammates out of the session.
Oh no.
Oh no. Why no? Anyway, yeah, so I'm playing that at the moment and it's really quite enjoyable. Only the enemies scale up with you, so I can't just go anywhere to sort of trounce anything I want for a little while.
Yeah, you can't pick on hogs for easy experience or whatever.
No, I've got to. Can't do some of the lower level quests now that I'm a higher level. The ones that I missed because I was in a different starting area. Well, I can do the quests still, but I don't get as much experience for doing the quests. But I do get more experience for killing the creatures. So, you know. Yeah. But it's what it is. They've got to keep it interesting. I suppose that does mean, in theory, you can level in the starter area all the way to max. Take you a while, but you could do it. Yeah. We didn't see where we crashed out. Oh well. I reckon this will be our next pit. No? lap 10. Lap 10 would make sense, I suppose. Because then we'd be 30% of the way through. 40% of the way through on soft tyres. Yeah, that makes sense. What are you up to?
Sorry. Would you like a topic
Yeah, go on then.
where you're talking about your tyres? Google Chrome, is that who's sponsoring us?
Yeah, actually. Google do sponsor
Yeah.
McLaren.
Is this a very accurate game, would you say?
I'd say it's
As a
fairly
fan?
accurate. It's
Is this,
accurate enough.
is this a good representation of the sport?
I mean, good enough, yeah. They haven't put in Logan Sargent being absolute mad lad when it comes to cornering and slamming into walls. Or Lance Stroll, for that matter. But, I mean, other than that... In fact, we had a somewhat amusing incident where, on this very track, at this very corner, Lance Stroll went off, slammed into that wall opposite, and his engineer, when we could see that Lance has crashed his car completely, it's undrivable, the engineer's like, can he get it back to the pits? And Lance's reaction was, no, I fucking put it in the wall. Or I put it in the fucking wall or something like that.
We had a couple of deaths recently that stood out to me.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know whether can you guess which two I'm thinking of?
Timothy West.
Yep.
Yep. And no.
Another T.
No, I don't. I haven't made any
Tony
notes.
Todd.
Oh, actually, you know what? I was going to make a note of Tony Todd. I took a screenshot of the headline. Yes, Tony Todd.
Well, Timothy West was 90.
Yep. Tony Todd was 60 something.
Yeah, Timothy West was famous for his role as when he was in EastEnders, and he was in an episode of Tales of the Unexpected where he's a beekeeper and he's feeding his newborn child royal jelly to make him big and strong, and he turns into a bee at the end.
Oh. The child.
Yeah.
Okay.
Timothy West is sort of buzzing, so he's kind of bee-like as well. There's an episode of first episode of Inside Number 9 where he plays a child molester.
Of course he does. We're just coming back to them, don't we?
Burned alive in a cupboard.
Oh, just like Freddy Krueger, but different.
So yeah, most famous in recent years for the Canal Journey series he did with his wife Prunella Scales.
Yes. So I heard.
Who suffered with Alzheimer's, I think, or dementia.
Don't know.
Yeah, it's sort of sad. I hope he wasn't worrying about her too much when he died, and I don't know whether I know it's going to be difficult for her. He doesn't even really understand that he's gone. She may need to be told multiple times. I don't know. Which is awfully sad. I sort of wish she'd gone first for all her sakes.
I get what you mean. Hang on, I need to concentrate on the timing on this. Oh, look at that!
Oh, I thought you missed it. I thought you were aiming for the garage. Well, yeah, Timothy West. Said he passed away. Seemed like a very splendid chap. Which is probably the best way to describe Timothy West. Played Edward VII in the 70s. So, yeah. And Tony Todd. Do you know who Tony Todd is?
Yes, he was Candyman, and I know him better from being in the Final Destination movie.
Yes, he's great in both, although I haven't seen Candyman in ages.
I've not seen it at all, but I know he was the bloke who was like, maybe Dev's trying to get you back, or whatever it is.
He plays the Undertaker, seems to know more than he should, and might be Death, though I don't really like that idea. I prefer to think of Death as sort of a nebulous...
It's so crazy that he's in the second movie in the series, and not the first.
Oh, No. Oh. No.
Because the first one's actually the second one in the story, isn't it?
Oh, is that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
But he's in that one too.
Is he? Oh, it's been a while since I've seen it, to be fair.
I thought you were making the point where he pops up in the second one that was made, and people so closely associating with the franchise, they assume he was always there.
Oh, I don't know.
But no. Yeah, he's great in that role. He's got a great voice, or had a great voice, Tony Todd.
You know who else was in?
Star Trek
Sorry, go on. He was in Star Trek.
Yeah, he played Worf's brother.
Why did I know he'd be a Klingon?
He plays a lot of characters. He's one of those who pops up. Jeffrey what's his
Coombs.
face as well. Yeah, Jeffrey who?
Coombs.
Yeah, Jeffrey Combs.
Jeffrey Coombs, yeah.
Combs.
No, it's Coombs.
Okay, whatever. Yeah, he pops up a lot. He plays Worf's brother in an episode where Worf is sort of fallen very badly in Klingon society. He's like at the bottom of the pile, and his brother's so ashamed he tries to kill himself. But they give him an operation. They wipe his memory, and this sort of Klingon general who's sympathetic adopts him as his son, his long lost son.
Hmm.
And a lot of people pointed this out that this was really shitty because there's no scene of Worf's brothers giving permission for this.
Okay.
Worf makes the decision for him. And I saw this on the TV tropes page that Ron Moore, who wrote that episode along with many others, said that the reason he didn't put that scene in was because he thought it was obvious.
Oh,
But
okay.
that people will watch the episode and just take it for granted. Well, of course they must have asked him. Apparently not.
Well, if
So,
you
yeah,
don't show it.
As far as I'm concerned, canonically they do ask his permission and he's fine with it. There's some lovely scene that should have really been shot where he's like, yes, I consent.
At least well, having not seen it, at least like a friendly goodbye. You would hope would sort of cover it.
Absolutely.
Good luck out there. Have fun.
Well, it's
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
It's sort of ironic because if Worf's brother had hung on for a few years, you know, Worf is like best pals with the new High Chancellor Martok. You know,
Good old
he'd have been
Martok.
right. He'd have been. I love Martok. He'd been right at the top, almost. He'd been a figure.
The Martop, if you will.
Yeah, he'd have been pretty. Yeah, instead he's probably fairly close to the respectable, but not like brilliant.
Can we concentrate on this for a second? Because he hasn't pit stopped yet. He's going to pit stop at the end of this lap, I think. I want to overtake him before he pit stops. Oh, look at that! Look at that overtake on the inside! Hey, he fucking did it, boys! He fucking did it!
Yeah, well done.
Oh, right on the inside of that fucking... That's such a tight corner as well. Anyway, carry on.
Oh, that's sort of all I had to say on that matter. But
okay.
yeah, Tony Todd. Tony Todd's dead.
Do you know who else was in the Final Destination movie 1 and 2? That is, released 1 and 2.
Abby Larter.
It's Ali, but yeah.
Is it?
Ali Larter. A-L-I Larter.
Um.
Are you Googling?
Yeah. No, I'm not. Well, all right. Yeah, I was googling Tony Todd, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, just obviously she was in Heroes, wasn't she?
She was.
I can't remember what her ability was. Was she the fire one?
He was the super strong one.
Super strong one.
Who had the split personality.
Oh yeah, of course.
A cam girl.
And her son was the one that did all the drawings.
The computer guy, yeah.
And then her husband / estranged lover was the bloke who could phase into things. And phased into what's his face's head? Malcolm McDowell?
Yeah, Daniel Lindemann is played by Malcolm McDowell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Heroes was good and then it wasn't.
Yeah, I keep wanting to rewatch it, but I don't know if I can face the disappointment. Oh, cut that corner a bit tight. No, we're good. We're good. We're 12 seconds ahead of second place, Ben.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
People say that Game of Thrones was a show that fell from the highest height, but I don't think that's true at all. Because
it definitely fell from a high height.
Well, yeah, I mean it was the biggest thing ever, and then it was shit, and everybody hates it. But it's still a franchise. There's still, House of the Dragon is being made. There's a TV series, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, that's coming out. They're making an animated series.
And some people actually think we'll get the last book.
Yeah, we won't. There's apparently a Jon Snow project that might be back in the works. There's a movie coming out. Game of Thrones is still there. And the fact I'm still getting fucking notifications on YouTube about video essays talking about what went wrong.
Well, it's an easy cash grab, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, those were everywhere at the time. But I think the thing Whenever people talk about Game of Thrones and it being the biggest disaster ever, I always think of House of Cards, because House of Cards was really big, and nobody's fucking talking about that anymore.
No, but it's iffy to talk about, isn't it?
Well, yeah, exactly. But
Given the
I mean,
circumstances.
it got bad as well. Like the
I
British
wouldn't know.
well, the British House of Cards. I didn't see the final series, but the British House of Cards is fairly succinct. Like it's a few like hour and a half long episodes, and it ends with Francis Urquhart becomes Conservative Prime Minister, and he's like in power for like 20 years or something, and he's bored to fucking tears, and there's some scandal from his past that is threatening to emerge and ruin his legacy. So his wife asks her lover to assassinate him at like a statue unveiling in order to preserve his legacy and protect him, which is a great ending.
Yeah, I suppose it is, isn't it?
And you know the bad guy gets away with it. You know, and in the American version, he becomes president, then resigns because he realizes that he has more power in the media, and his wife, who he made his vice president, is now president. And
Yeah.
and then they had to kill him off for the final. It's just like, just stick to the fucking original premise, Netflix. You know, that would have worked. That would have
Yeah, but
worked
there was all
perfectly
those
fine.
allegations, wasn't there?
Well, there wasn't when that screwed up the last season, but it was
Yeah,
going off
yeah,
the
yeah.
edge before the last season. If you stuck to the original plan, you could have wrapped that up before the allegations came out,
Wow.
and people would be having like complicated thoughts about House of Cards, but still, you know, would have a positive enough legacy on the whole, like American Beauty, probably. You know, like where we don't really talk about it, but it's sort of
Yeah, yeah,
acknowledged,
yeah.
or Seven, which is great.
Or the usual suspects, which people talk about sometimes
Yeah,
as being a.
but because it went completely off the fucking rails before that,
Yeah.
and you know, you have the last nail in the coffin was the fact that Kevin Spacey was a bit of a wrong un,
Well, wasn't
allegedly.
he acquitted or something?
Yes, after several of his accusers died mysteriously, so allegedly it is. Um, yeah, I do always think the House of Cards. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about it.
Have we ever talked about Deep Rock Galactic?
But what?
Deep Rock Galactic.
That rings a bell. What is it?
It's a game where you play as a space dwarf miner, mining for resources on asteroids whilst also
Oh,
fighting
right.
off giant spiders.
No.
No, we've never talked about it, or no, you're not interested?
No, we've never talked about it.
Ah, well, it's a multiplayer game that we could in theory play at some point.
All right. Well, maybe we'll come to it.
One day. Oh, apparently, this has just reminded me. Apparently, 2 copies of Baldur's Gate 3 have sold at the Vatican.
Well, that's all right. There's people who work at the Vatican who probably game.
I know, but like, there's 2 copies that have been sold to people that their address, their registered address is the Vatican. They don't work there; they live there.
Well, the Vatican's a big building.
I know. It's an interesting fact.
Well, it is, but what is the Vatican comprised of? Let's have a look. So the Vatican.
It's got more than one pope per square mile.
It says the Vatican. Does it just mean Vatican City?
Yeah, I assume so. Google the thing,
Well,
because
yeah.
I only saw a short video.
Okay.
And they were,
Baldur's
the biggest joke, the biggest part of the video was they were trying to joke about who they romance within the storyline. Because you can romance with, you don't have to, but you can.
Okay, it is Vatican City. One resident has wish listed the game but hasn't pulled the trigger yet.
I'd heard that 2 people had bought it.
Been revealed the Baldur's Gate 3 has sold copies. 2 copies of Baldur's Gate have been sold in the country, while another resident has it on their wish list.
Okay, so it's potentially free. It's very possible, unlikely, but it's possible that the Pope may have played Baldur's Gate. There is a genuine chance, slim as it is, that the Pope, the frickin' Pope,
You familiar with Carlo Acutis?
no,
the reason why it should be. I've only just found out about him. Well, this article I'm reading says it's not the only time gaming has crossed paths with Catholicism this year either. Earlier this year, the church announced plans to canonize their first millennial saint.
Oh.
For his death in 2006, Carlo Acutis earned the nickname God's Influencer by spreading awareness about Catholicism using the internet and helping the poor. He was also a big gaming fan and loved Halo, Super Mario, and Pokemon. He is expected to be declared a saint during the Jubilee celebrations in 2025. I thought I read somewhere that you have to wait 100. It has to be 100 years after you've died.
Maybe it did used to be.
I think that was like one of the major things when Mother Teresa was declared a saint, because you had to be dead for 100 years and you have to have 2 miracles. But because they were going through one of their regular, I promise we're not all child molesters phases, where it was all coming out and they had to get the PR machine moving. The Pope made an exception for her, and they quickly found 2 miracles.
Well, I mean, maybe they changed the rules. But just to be clear, I didn't realise you said Carlo. Carlo, yeah, I've heard of Carlo. Whoever his last name was.
Carlo Acutis.
Yeah, I must have misheard you. If I'd heard you say Carlo Acutis, I'd have.
What do you mean?
You're
making fun of the way I pronounce things.
No, I'm suggesting that I didn't actually know, but actually, yeah, I totally did know. I just misheard you. Oh, Carlo Acutis. Yes, of course. I remember now.
Right. Requirements for sainthood. Okay, wait 5 years. I was wrong.
Maybe, again, maybe the rules have changed.
I mean, it should be 100, really. 100 seems reasonable. And how hard is it to get a miracle? You set this up before you die. You have your family pay some guy in Nairobi to say he saw a picture of you in the sky and it cured his wife's herpes or something.
Yeah. Why not?
Okay, so Teresa has been beautified. What does that mean?
Oh. I wonder if we're going to lap anyone. There's someone up ahead. We have a slight disadvantage because there's less people on the track than there was last time round. There's only 19 cars now, not 20.
It's a recognition accorded by the Catholic Church of a deceased person's entrance into heaven and capacity to intercede on behalf of individuals who pray in their name. So if you pray to Mother Teresa, who was not yet a saint, or wasn't a saint as of 2014, what we know, this article's a little old. Mother Teresa is a saint, okay.
I've heard terrible things about her, though.
Yeah, we talked about it ages ago, you may remember.
Vaguely.
She was not a very nice lady.
Who is?
Well, she was a very tragic figure. I'm not going into it now. There's a great documentary on Sky.
You know bloody documentaries.
Christopher Hitchens wrote a book called Hell's Angel about her.
I'd be so disappointed if I was reading that and there wasn't anything about motorcycles.
Do you know where the term devil's advocate comes from?
The movie.
No, good call. But when there's a discussion about appointing or raising somebody to the sainthood, you have someone there to argue against it who's called the devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
And Christopher Hitchens was devil's advocate when there was talk of Mother Teresa being appointed a saint.
Oh.
I just think that's interesting.
You heard that rumour that the bucket list inspired the phrase the bucket list? No, I don't believe that for a second, but that's a thing that keeps going around.
I think it popularised it.
Yeah, but there's some people who says that it originates from there, which is, I think it's absolute bullshit. I've never actually fact-checked this, but I think it's bollocks. It's got to be bollocks.
The writer, according to Wikipedia, the writer coined the expression after he wrote his own list of things to do before I kick the bucket.
I don't necessarily believe that.
I see. I kind of, I feel like that term existed before I was aware of the film.
Oh my god, Logan Sargent's out of a race.
Well done.
They have recreated this perfectly. Oh my god, he's in the middle of a fucking track as well. For God's sake, Logan. We're gonna have to skirt around the outside. How does he fuck this up? Oh, look at him. He's not even crashed it properly. It's not even in pieces. I better clean that up quickly. Actually, this would be a safety car on a track like this. Because of how tight it is. Carry on.
Yeah, so... I think I heard the term bucket list before the film was out, I feel. But
I feel like it as well.
I don't know.
We're gonna lap someone. Who is it? I bet it's Albon. Or maybe Ricardo. Sonoda? Oh no, Hulkenberg. Oh, poor Hulkenberg.
You know, I think that... I'm not... This isn't a particularly original thought. I think the film Bucket List would be improved if Jack Nicholson was playing the devil and Morgan Freeman was playing God.
Ah, yes. I want it the other way round.
That could be interesting.
But you don't know it's the other way round until the end. You don't know for sure. It's not revealed for sure.
No, I think it would be interesting to see them play against type and know it. Yeah, and just them travelling around history, I guess. But look, I found this Reddit article. Apparently the term bucket list did exist before 2007. This guy found a reference to indicate bucket list meant inventory in 1901. There is a reference to bucket list as a collection of in the Des Moines Tribune in 1932. I don't know.
I think it's Des Moines.
What?
I think it's Des Moines rather than Des Moines.
Des Moines it is.
I think it's because it's French, isn't it? It originates from France. Des Moines.
Yeah, there's somebody here saying that they knew what bucket list was when they were a kid in the 80s because their grandmother had one and she wanted to steal a coffee cup from a truck stop in every state she could drive to.
But she never had a license, so I guess none.
Yeah. She didn't have legs. It was present in the 90s, apparently. Right, so sainthood. 5 requirements. You've got to wait 5 years. Step 2, become a servant of God.
Okay.
So, yeah. Step 3, show proof of a life of heroic virtue. Okay. Step 4, verified miracles, or verified miracles even. You need 2. In the case of John Paul II, Vatican experts examined the medical evidence for an allegedly miraculous cure from Parkinson's disease of a 49-year-old French nun, Sister Marie Simon Pierre Normand.
Okay.
Don't know whether that's... I don't know. We'll have to check in on Sister Marie Simon Pierre Normand. Or Normand.
Probably dead, to be fair.
Well, she was 49 in 2005? I don't know.
Could be dead.
So she could be dead.
COVID happened. You got to remember that.
Yeah. Well, my granddad had Parkinson's disease, and the Pope didn't do shit for him. But he was pretty die-hard Protestant, so you never know. Right, step 5, canonization. Canonization, final step. If you're a martyr, you only need 1 miracle.
Really? I'll be a martyr. I'd have to be a Catholic martyr. No, never mind. I've become the very thing I swore to destroy.
So in John Paul's case, the second one was an inexplicable recovery of a Costa Rican woman, Floria Beth Mora, from a serious brain illness.
Oh.
So Pope Francis. This is very confusing because I thought it was 2, and now Pope Francis apparently took the unusual step of... Oh no, I misread. So he waived the requirement of a second miracle for John the 23rd. because he was white. There was a lot of widespread report for his being canonized, and he had a lot of miracles.
He's got so many we don't need to find a second one.
I'd like to be a saint. There's so many.
Would you like one of my topics before we get to the end of this? Because otherwise I'm not going to get through all my next video.
Yeah, go on. How many have you got left?
I could have a look, but I'm driving at the moment, so I can't really stop and look. But
Okay,
I know what one of them is.
All right.
Have you heard that Daniel Khalif, the worst prison escapee of the last of the decade so far, has actually now pled guilty?
Has he?
He has pled guilty to trying to escape from prison. What with having,
Right.
I mean, he barely escaped, didn't he? It shouldn't really count, I don't think. 3 days to go 4 miles or whatever it was.
It took this long for his lawyer to manage to convince him.
Well, most likely. But yeah.
Yeah, I did see that. I mean, I kind of get it, because you kind of want to lay low. But I think he was laying low in like a mate's house or something, wasn't he? Or a family member's house.
I don't know. Either way, somewhere suspicious. You'd have to.
If you escaped from prison, where would you go?
I can't tell you, Ben. Not whilst we're recording.
I don't know what I think I'd just run. I'd just go. I just wouldn't stop. Maybe I'd kill myself.
You know that TV show Hunted?
Yeah.
I always told myself that if I ever ended up on that, which is near enough the same thing, I would go to work and get a lift in one of the lorries.
Yeah.
Because those lorries go all over the fucking country, and how are they going to know which lorry I got into?
What if the driver betrays you?
Well, then I'll be very disappointed in that driver.
Oh, Jesus. I'm watching a video of him.
I'd make sure it's one of those that I get on well with.
There's a man on a beach, and he's found the human head has been found washed up on a beach in Florida.
Oh.
And I saw the man with a bag, presumably containing the head, walking to his golf cart. Yeah, Timothy West was in Judgment Day, which is an episode of Midsummer Murders as well, I forgot.
Yeah.
I think if I was in Hunted, I would cast a lot of red herrings.
Well, yeah, you got to really.
I'd set it up brilliantly. I'd like book campsites in fake names, and I'd have like brochures for various places.
Rent a car.
Hidden. Rent a car. Like I'd leave maybe a burner phone. You know, with like texts to somebody saying "meet me here." I'd probably set it up so somebody would report seeing me in a certain place. That's what you got to do. You got to really fuck with them.
You have. You gotta get inside that. Did you see when James Acaster and I can't remember who it was with him did it, and they
No.
Oh, it was just they went to the Taskmaster house and then climbed over a fence and just walked away. And one of them managed to get away, and the other one was stuck in a taxi, driving off or something. It's fucking ridiculous. I've seen clips of it. I've not seen the actual thing, but it was just it's their kind of humour, you know. Well, Ben, look at how we're doing.
Well done, us.
We won that. We are almost one whole race ahead of second place.
Nice. Fuck you, Lewis Hamilton.
And our team is 5 points ahead of the competition. Not helped by the fact that our teammate didn't get any points this race. So, almost single-handedly. In fact, actually, yeah, it is almost single-handedly. If it wasn't for us, we would be 1 point. Our teammates only managed to get 6 points overall. So, like, their contribution is we're not in second place by -1. We're ahead by 5. But I'm really good at this. It's going really well. Thank you for joining us. Have you got anything else you want to add before we go, Ben? Have you got anything you want to add before we go, Ben?
No.
Alright, man. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
I do wish you wouldn't do that.